Hey guys, how we doing?
Good morning, friends.
Joe here.
And Kevin.
Right. Lola Larola, you picked the movie Side by Side.
Yes.
I am vaguely aware of this. I know it's
Sure.
a documentary with a ton of directors in it.
Right.
I think around the time it came out, they were really advertising it heavily in like magazines on TV.
Right, yeah, sure.
And then it just time goes by, you just miss stuff, you know.
Yeah, I do remember trailers for this. I was interested. I never saw it pop up. Like, I've never seen it show up on a streaming service anywhere.
Sure.
If at any point over the last, 10 years or whatever it is, I would have been scrolling through a streaming service and saw it, I probably would have watched it
a good
already.
point, yeah.
But we don't live in a part of the country that documentaries go into theaters. So I'm pretty excited to check this one out. I know it's Keanu Reeves hosting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's going to be a lot less cathartic and painful than our last documentary, Dear Zachary.
My God, yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to this. This is one I probably should have watched at some point before now.
Yeah. It seems like it's about movies and stuff, and we like movies and stuff here, so.
I'm pretty sure it's about the conversion to digital filmmaking.
Oh, awesome.
Is what it's about. And
so
of course, this is a bit older, so a lot's changed even since this documentary was made.
Yeah.
So obviously, now in 2025 when we're watching this, the conversion to digital filmmaking is pretty complete.
There's a handful of directors that are.
There's still a few holdouts. I feel like in order to shoot on film nowadays, you really need to have some clout to let you say that.
Yep.
If you're someone that's going to get to produce a Quentin Tarantino movie, if he walks in and says I'm shooting this on 70 millimeter film, you say okay, you can shoot this on 70 millimeter film.
I think it's just Nolan, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Quentin. Are like the only
does Paul Thomas Anderson still shoot on film?
Sure does.
Gotta love a purist.
And he's got a movie coming up this year.
Good. I love all three of those directors, so
Me too.
I've seen a lot of their works, although not everything. And they're pretty much masters of their crafts.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still excited to check this out. That doesn't mean I don't like digital filmmaking. They're obviously very skilled directors. Exactly.
Loves digital.
Yeah, they're really, really good filmmakers that have made digital filmmaking work for them.
Yeah.
Just because it's not what it used to be doesn't mean that's necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of like anything else. The simple fact that digital filmmaking is the norm now. Bad filmmakers do bad filmmaking on digital.
There was bad films when film was.
That's what I'm saying. It's like well now that we've made this conversion, all of the bad filmmakers have gone from doing film to doing digital. So it's like, oh, look at this ugly digital film.
Still looks like poop.
Yeah, it still looks like crap. But you know what? It would have looked like crap and been a crap movie if they were still shooting on film anyway.
Exactly.
What's the film company that is? I don't know. Is it Kodak? Who is it that has sends over a case of champagne if you shoot 1 million feet of?
There's a lot of film companies that do that, but yeah, Kodak does it.
It's like
Panavision.
If your movie, if you buy and shoot 1 million feet of film for your movie, they send over a case of champagne to say thank you.
I can't remember which actor was talking about that, but yeah, on a Judd Apatow movie that happened.
Oh, did it on an Apatow movie?
Yeah, Apatow used to shoot on film. I think it was like 40 Year Old Virgin or something.
Oh, okay, it's like we shot a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers who've been here with us. Thank you so much, guys. A special thank you to our super patrons: AB, Actuarial Lurker, Ballers Fuldez, Derek Peterson, Devin Garneau, MTC93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Jojo Potato, Natasha Norris, NJ, Sudugunda Varapu, Trey Contreras, Ware Panda 47, Wolfgang Wolf, Yannick from Montreal, Torgeir Lingstad, Matthew Jones Carter, and Lindsay Swift. Thank you so much, guys. I'm really glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching this the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you mind hitting the like button down below, please leave us, or if you mind hitting the like button, leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the content we have coming your way.
Hit all the buttons.
Just bam. Just smash them all.
Exactly. It's like whack-a-mole. You've got to hit them all. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we watched or watching, the link to our Patreon is in the description below. We're way ahead on Patreon if we were on YouTube, but you're going to have to sync and watch along in your own source material due to copyright law.
Yeah. I always wanted to go to the Tribeca Film Festival.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah. Hang out with De Niro.
Hey, buddy. I want to go to Sundance, see if I can get a glimpse of Redford. I don't even know if he still goes.
Probably not, right? 85-year-old Robert Redford.
De Niro still goes to his.
Does he really?
I think so.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that image of the guy on the horse is like the first thing ever filmed.
Movies have inspired us.
I have something more than a hope.
And captured our imagination.
Casablanca. I love that movie.
Wizard of Oz.
Has helped us share our experiences and dreams. It is only recently that a new technology has emerged that is challenging film's place as the gold standard.
We cut to Star Wars. Nice.
Right?
May
Great
very
example.
well
Yeah.
replace film as the primary means of creating and sharing motion pictures.
It definitely has.
It's a documentary about the
Soderbergh.
science, art, and impact of digital cinema.
Right now has reached a kind of threshold tipping point.
Jimmy Cameron.
Yeah. Big Jim.
We're friends, so I'm going to call him Jimmy.
Intersection of time.
Oh, R.I.P.,
It's
man.
Historic. Is it the end
I'll link
of
later.
film?
It's exciting because it's
Nice.
it's a reinvention of a new medium.
Yeah, he uses digital.
Yeah.
And how do you use it to tell a story?
Just watched Slumdog Millionaire.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Are you done with film?
Don't hold me to it, Keanu, but I think I am.
Really?
I am constantly asked to justify why I want to shoot a film on film, but I don't hear anybody being asked to justify why they want to shoot a film digitally.
Fincher will.
Yeah, right. This is great. You have great directors with completely different perspectives.
Sad right now to see cameras recording imagery in an inferior way.
Wally Feister. I think he shot The Dark Knight. He was Nolan's cinematographer for
Okay.
a long time.
If the intention is that digital's going to replace film, I would be sad if it didn't actually exactly replicate it.
Not a good movie, but it looks good.
Yeah. Good soundtrack, too.
Yeah.
Digital is here now, but it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Is that Robert Rodriguez?
Yep.
Okay.
There are going to be many of us, they're going to fight for film. They're going to fight for the experience of shooting on emotion.
One of the first steps in the production process is capturing the images in camera.
Is it that much cheaper to shoot digitally than on film? I know there's a difference, but
It can be. Film's expensive.
yeah.
More takes.
Sure.
The DP is responsible for knowing what equipment is needed and how it works in order to capture the scenes.
A director of photography looks at color and composition, and they're equating the building of this world in terms of energy.
Framing, sensibility, how to make people feel.
Bringing emotion into the light comes.
Oh, wow.
He's got quite a resume, doesn't he?
Guys, the opening of Raging Bull is incredible.
There is a certain amount of a leap of faith that they have to have in you.
Yeah. Cinema today is a mixing of art and technology.
Today, in this era, you also have to be a bit of a technician and you have to know the equipment.
All the way through the whole process.
Yeah.
An editor can make or break a movie.
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
The camera is a tool that focuses and measures photons of light and records them as images.
How did you watch playbacks? You know what I mean? When you're doing all film?
They're called dailies.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you set them up in a tent. It's called
So it's
Video
right there,
Village.
okay.
Yeah.
Like grit and grain and texture. It gives you a variety of different opportunities.
1,000-foot loads of film loaded into the magazines. And then it gives you a natural break in the action while someone pulls the magazine off the camera and puts a new magazine on.
So it's an extensive process.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you can see how studios have the appeal to shoot digitally.
Well, I'm thinking as a director, that's what I was saying, is like, I need to be able to watch a playback immediately to know, do I need to take, how much more do I need to go? Do
Yeah.
I need to redo?
So for the dailies, you watch the dailies the next morning.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's why we love dailies. We'd all go, we'd act, and then everybody would wrap, and the next morning it'd come back from the lab, and we went, wow, look what we got.
And there's a certain leap of faith that you take when you shoot film, and there's something really romantic about that.
But I don't like the betrayal of dailies. I don't like going in and seeing and knowing that there's no way to retrieve that.
The DP would tell you, it's in my head.
It's in his head. Well, that's great, but I'm operating the camera, I'm picking the lenses, I'm judging the performances.
It's true. I mean,
Plus, upside and downside for both there.
Yeah.
The sensor is made up of millions of tiny picture elements, or pixels for short.
You ever notice like a 4K adaptation of like an old film?
Yeah,
like,
the restorations.
Yeah, the restorations. It's always like a little grainy for my taste. I'd rather not do the 4K.
Yeah.
And making adjustments from that, which I actually quite like because it means you're seeing the picture exactly as it is. You know.
You say, I think we need more backlight. And he said, don't worry, it'll look great in dailies. They know as well as anybody that you go to dailies, you say, I really think there should be more backlight in there. The audience is going to watch that film on a screen that is, 1,000 times bigger than that. You're watching it on a large TV.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And today, the cinematographer is monitored on a digital shoot, and everything that they're doing can be seen, criticized.
We get a lot of different perspectives here.
I love it.
Around the industry, yeah.
The couple of actors
R.I.P.
that insist on looking at every take. I also am convinced that everybody's just looking at their hair.
The suits and the producers, well, they all think they know how to act, they all think they know how to write, they all think they know how to direct, but they knew they didn't know how to shoot. But now, they're beginning to think they can shoot. It's not like it used to be.
There are cinematographers who became cinematographers. They love the voodoo of it. You know, some of Darius Khondji's work on Seven, you would just go, wow.
It's one of the best looking movies.
An equal amount of times that you go, what the f***?
It's almost like a completely different process of filmmaking completely.
Oh, for sure.
In 1969, at Bell Labs in New Jersey, and the first CCD chip was created. Sony started investing in and developing products using the CCD technology.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize it was that early.
I didn't either.
By the mid-1980s, Sony was producing its first consumer-quality CCD camcorders. They were first used cinematically when they were embraced by the Dogma 95 movement out of Denmark.
We made this thing called Dogma 95.
Anthony Dodd Mantle was the DP who shot the first Dogma film.
Yeah.
Thomas Vinterberg's Celebration.
And I had a Sony PC3, which actually was a camera I ended up shooting Celebration on. It was misty and hazy, and it was kind of gothic. 2 months later, I'm shooting the Celebration on these small cameras because I wanted to be a protagonist in Celebration.
Yep.
These possible movements that I didn't know in my cinema. And that became my donation to the Celebration.
And then he got 28 days later from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It brought people to filmmaking for creativity's sake. It pointed out that the mechanism of filmmaking only serves the creative.
If we lower our budgets, we get more freedom as directors.
Shooting a film on video at that point meant it was crap. You didn't shoot films that you were serious about on any kind of video format.
Looking at rushes, it was scary as hell.
Would you like some ice cream?
You can really tell the dip in quality from film, though.
Yeah.
That's significant at this point
in the early
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually commented on how muddled it looked.
The digital presentation did not look nearly in any way an acceptable substitute for what film was.
You started to see people start to challenge the idea, as did the group known as Indigent.
Is that Carver?
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've never seen that movie.
No.
I think as an independent filmmaker, we are in the most exciting time ever.
That if you shoot digitally, it's cheap. And it absolutely helped fuel the number of films that got made. I remember my first year at Sundance, we had 225 submissions total. You know, a few years later, it was 10 times that.
People were saying, well, that's okay for you, it's independent, but this isn't cinema.
Gary's own film, Tadpole, ended up being sold for an enormous amount of money.
Yeah, there it is. That's where the shift happens then, yep.
And it's almost like a production aesthetic, and that's when all the debate started.
Well, that's when all the found footage stuff really kicked up, too. It was easy to do that way.
For sure.
It was quite obvious for me to go to digital.
This guy's insane. Lars von Trier once said at Cannes, I understand Hitler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a very controversial filmmaker.
I imagine there was a liberation for you then in terms of the relationship with your actors, longer takes.
10 minutes was maximum. It wasn't even really 10. And when that thing starts rolling, there's a kind of underlying feeling that's precious stuff rolling through there. And it puts a kind of a tension on things.
I mean, you couldn't shoot a big oneer on film.
I mean, you can.
Right, but
Scorsese,
there's a
PTA.
limit, though. Right. Yeah, PTA did have some oneers, for sure.
The opening of Boogie Nights is all one.
Yeah.
I love to run the camera, especially when we're in an emotional place and magic is happening. When you go cut, you were at a place where it was just there, and then everything stops. And
as fast as you can get back to your position, you can go again. A lot of times in movies, I feel like, can we go?
The entire crew can only concentrate, the actors can only concentrate for so long, and then you need a 2-minute break, 3-minute break.
When you're running a film camera on set, when they hear the film running, when they hear the money running through the camera, basically, everybody brings their A game.
The first time I'd ever heard
the whir of film going through a camera, each take counted in a way that I had never really experienced before.
I thought it would make a difference to actors. I don't think it does, particularly to actors. I think actors just infinitely adjust.
But my first experience with that was just, you know, there was no cut. Yeah, I was just like, can we please stop?
Yeah. It would be a huge adjustment for actors, too.
He said, I can't work like this. He actually left mason jars of urine on the set.
I've heard that.
Really? I had not heard that.
I made a very big Hollywood film, The Beach, with Leonardo DiCaprio. So I then saw Celebration.
And that's how he links up with Anthony Dodd Mantle.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the look. It was the camera operating, that movement of the camera. And so I got in touch with the guy who shot it, Anthony Dodd Mantle. Can we do something together? And then we came up with a script 28 days later. And we shot it on consumer cameras. It's all very well working in this format, you know, but he said, I'll never get an Oscar.
And he wins one for Slumdog.
A Deserted London.
It was still early. You could really tell the difference on this.
But because we were on these cameras, we could use 10 of them because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
You'd only have to stop the traffic for a few minutes and then you would actually have 10 shots. That was an enormous advantage. I knew once we'd shot that sequence that I was going to work on it now. That was what I wanted to work on.
Yeah.
In the 1970s and 80s, electronics companies began working on solutions to replace film editing.
When you used to go to an editing room, they brought in the trim basket, and then you slapped it together like this. You remember with the white gloves, and they were incredibly fast at it.
But the first thing that happened really that changed everything, I think, was the digital editing machine.
We had the first Edit Droid working in 1980.
Of course
and,
he did.
Eventually we sold the system to Avid.
Just wish he didn't write his own scripts. He'd be so much better off.
Still a legend, just not a great director, writer.
And I said, this is going to be really good when they get the image quality right in about 5 years' time.
So when you're editing a movie on film, that's just the technology. The art form is the manipulation of images.
It was extremely difficult for me to learn because I hadn't used a computer, but I learned and I kicked the machine quite a bit.
About that.
Think she ever walked in and just waved her Oscar for Lawrence of Arabia around? Was like, anyone have anything to tell me?
People are scared of her.
Right. I would be.
Sometimes these young editors who are very interesting, but they don't always have the time to just sit back and think about what they're doing.
Also probably true, yeah.
Film taught you a discipline that is gone a little bit from...
Has editing gotten better because there's infinite choice? I'm not so sure.
Lawrence of Arabia, where he blows the match out.
Yeah, one of the best edits of all time.
And if you'd been on a digital as we are today, we would have only ever seen it as it dissolved. And so when we saw it, we thought, wow, that's fantastic.
Digital is this unbelievably malleable plastic. It's not that you can't do it with film.
You definitely have more flexibility with digital.
For sure. Depends on what you're making, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Visual effects, or VFX, have been part of filmmaking since the earliest years.
You've got to understand animation, you've got to understand the way people move, creatures move. You have to be an artist and a technician at the same time.
Absolutely. That is
a lot of time and energy, and people put a lot of work into being able to make a Star Wars film.
Compare that to Moonfall.
Same thing, you know.
Basically the same movie.
The great thing about making real stuff is you get to use all of your senses and your physical perceptions, and cool something looks under real lighting is pretty satisfying.
Yeah, I bet.
I used to watch when I was a kid when they put out making of Star Wars documentaries. Blew my mind as a kid.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I knew a lot of guys that were working in the digital field, so I started a computer division.
As you do.
And we developed the Pixar computer for ILM.
I had no idea Lucasfilm created Pixar film.
Thanks, George.
Yeah.
Scan in film and bring the film into the computer and make changes to that.
Digital became important from an effects point of view. The first path through the system was in the effects arena.
The first real image that we did that was completely digital was in Young Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
not like a graphic of any sort.
That's really cool. I've not seen it.
It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was just something about that the effects community just got comfortable with it.
Terminator 2 was a big benchmark for audiences.
Yeah. One of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
We weren't shooting with digital cameras yet, but all of the post processes were starting to fall into line.
You couldn't shoot the image, you were making the image in the computer.
It was like a January, February release because they didn't think it was going to do any good. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts.
We had a problem at ILM doing our effects. We had to convert from film to digital in order to do it. Film is cumbersome. So I just said, I'm going to take my money and my time, I'm going to fix it.
He was bound and determined that Star Wars Episode 2 is going to be shot digitally.
Oh, that was a bad idea. Well, like there's scenes, like characters are all digital. It's like, why not just use people?
Because he's trying.
Right.
The more pixels you have, the higher the resolution, and the more detail an image will have. High-definition cameras record a resolution of about 1,920 pixels across, just under 2K.
And it was the first major feature that was shot high definition.
That was unthinkable at the time.
Of course there's a Yoda out front.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It became a really, really polarizing time for a lot of people in Hollywood.
We got up and had a big meeting saying that I was the devil incarnate.
When the F900 came out, I thought the images on that are just truly appalling.
They would always say, see, you can't tell the difference? And I could tell the difference.
Yeah.
Of course, George Lucas said after he shot Star Wars that he wouldn't shoot another film on film again.
When people saw George Lucas's test, they said, that's not going to work. I wasn't going to wait that long. I said, I'm following Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan knows what he's talking about. He knows what time it is. He always does. That this is going to be the beginning of something big.
This movie looks really bad. I'm sorry. But
No, it does. It does.
Yeah. Desperado's a million times better.
Yeah.
I know how to do this now. My
Sin
God,
City
shoot
rocks.
this digital. I can make it look just like this book. Sin City would not exist if I had shot that on film. I wouldn't have even thought to do it. Sin City came out, it hit people like a brick in the head because they had no idea what they were looking at. The systems got better for color timing it and for working in that color space.
So basically you had to shoot bad movies to force the technology forward until they looked better.
Pretty much.
But they're ugly movies early.
For sure.
With the advent of color film, the timers became more involved in the creative process. At the lab, the color timer, DP, and director determined the look for the final prints that will be seen by the public in the theaters.
Like I would sit with the director or the director of photography and they would say, that looks a little bit too red to me or too blue.
You know, there was a lot of art and labor involved in that. You know, those people really work hard to achieve that.
Digital color correction tools were first used for shorter pieces such as commercials and music videos.
Yeah.
I think groundbreaking visual images.
That is a lost art form.
Yeah, for sure.
I can now start building what we call power windows. In a power window, I can change any kind of hue I want.
She makes it look so easy, but it's
yeah,
probably
for
so
sure.
complex.
Maybe 2 decades of doing it, you get pretty quick.
Right.
I have this great feeling that I can do just about anything you ask me to do within reason.
It's just evolved to become a lot more streamlined.
I love the coloration of that movie.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
I can't get what I want in photochemical because every time I color time it this nice golden color, I lose all my blue skies. What we can do is we can basically affect everything in the image except for the blue in the sky, and also they were wearing overalls. We can desaturate them and make them brown gold.
And, you know, and bring out the background. I just was in heaven. I said, this is amazing. I can do anything to fix this movie.
Except the script.
Yeah, right.
Seeking more control over the image and being able to manipulate the image more, is that now we actually have less control. We then give away our negative or give away our product. Anybody can take it after that and can manipulate it.
I think it could take power away from the DP, but I think it's your job as a cinematographer, and that they supervise that so that their vision that they originally intended was executed.
On Gangs of New York, they offered me to do a DI.
Legend.
But I'm trying always to do it in camera and with lighting and with filters.
Once we get done digitally color correcting your movie, We make a brand new negative, and they make a print of that negative. And then we dial in the print to match the data.
You're going to have some prints that are perfect. I mean, do you have to kind of let it go once you create it?
Honestly, the truth of the matter is that when you go to a theater, every theater looks different.
The real auteur, ultimately, of a picture, if you want to use the word, is the projectionist.
Which we don't have anymore, really.
Right.
It's always a huge disappointment now for me to see a film print. Like, it's depressing. It's shaking. It's dirty. I hate it.
I like that, though.
I do too. I think there's a lot of charm to that.
I mean, Soderbergh knows more than I do. I'm just saying, it's a preference thing.
Yeah.
Titanic played so long in theaters that we actually our prints fell apart.
Yeah, it was months.
Like over a year, I think.
Yeah.
In 1999, we were able to project Phantom Menace digitally. And the rest of the industry was going there. Sound had already gone there.
Editorial had gone there.
Editorials, yeah. The camera was lagging behind, you know.
Michael Mann's Collateral used the Thompson Viper, an HD camera that outperformed film at shooting in dark environments.
That's why he shot it digitally, is because, the whole thing's set at night.
That's true.
Collateral was interesting in that it was supposed to look exactly the way it looked.
Yeah. He goes further with Miami Vice, and I think that film is also pretty great. It's very experimental, but it's...
Sure. I didn't care for it.
The Viper was the first camera that really told me that the digital age was ratcheting up.
In 2005, Panavision made a serious push into digital with a large sensor single-chip camera.
Genesis is a full-frame 35mm chip that allows depth of field to be very similar to film, and we could use all of our 35mm lenses, which totaled in the thousands, literally.
That's clever.
Yeah.
The Genesis was hyped to hell because it was from Panavision, and it was Sony designing a system for Panavision. People wanted the same depth of field and the same look that they got with 35mm, which of course is what you got with the Genesis.
We were very careful to design it for film crews. Dean Semler, who's an Academy Award-winning cinematographer for Dances with Wolves, shot Apocalypto down in Mexico.
It's 35 pounds. The camera is this big. If I want to see what just got shot, does it play back off that? They said, no, you would never touch that. It's like your original negative. You guys spent how many millions of dollars developing a camera with Sony, and I can't play HD back to look at it because that's the negative?
There we go.
Yeah.
If you have sort of a range between dark and bright in film like this, by shooting digital, you don't have this wide range.
I just don't feel it has the latitude that enables me to do what I want to do.
In 2005, Jim Gennard set out to create a new cinematic and affordable digital camera.
The Epic Red camera?
Yeah.
We wanted to set a high enough target so that it was meaningful. That's the nature of Red. We want to help send film to the retirement home.
This new generation of digital cameras could now shoot more resolution than HD.
When I saw the Red, I really felt I should call film on the phone and say I've met someone.
Well, it had problems. It crashed occasionally, to put it mildly. It's a computer.
The red one is 9 pounds and put a lens on it, 14 pounds. I gotta shoot these tiny boats. They're like the thickness of potato chips. Whatever it is you have to do, you gotta figure out a way. You gotta give me the IndyCar version of the Red One. On Sunday, he called me and he said, make the bodies out of carbon fiber. I said, when can I have it by? He goes, it's on my desk.
I was desperate to make something that had all the fresh air in it. And of course, when you go to India and Mumbai especially,
Comes an idea with speed, energy, youth.
we wanted a camera that would somehow try and catch a bit of that.
That shot was great.
It's about finding a camera that...
Cameras like Silicon Imaging's SI2K.
It's a sensor with a computer on the back of it. Oh, to hell with that. Take this Ethernet cable and connect it into a laptop.
Yeah.
So they took MacBook Pros and put them into a backpack for their capture and recording system.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It was no longer connected to the cameraman's body. He could do different things with it during the scene.
Vince Gilligan really used tiny cameras really well on his shows.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Big one for that, yeah.
You know, that'll be, I think, look back on as there you go, that was where it changed.
I can't defend Public Enemies. I can't.
No.
Avatar was going to be my next movie after Titanic. So I converted into thinking about 3D in '99.
Yeah, it took him 10 years.
Really, yeah.
We were starting to experiment with putting 2 HD cameras side by side. Then Vince Pace and I built the Fusion camera system.
You've decided to put one camera here and another camera on top. Marry these two, because stereoscopically you need the 2 images to exist, right?
Correct. Where there is no limitation on how close we get the eyes together.
Oh.
And that's really important for 3D.
They capture images from slightly different angles, providing a sense of 3-dimensional depth and distance.
That was pretty cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
These 2 cameras have to operate like Siamese twins. They have to mimic each other perfectly.
Avatar came out, but I'm really proud of those images. They look gorgeous.
Yeah, it was amazing. I saw it in 3D in the theater.
Me too.
It was amazing.
I saw the sequel in 3D in the theater. It did make everything 3D for a while, though. Everything.
Stuff that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I saw Thor in 3D, I think.
Oh my God, it's one of the worst 3D experiences ever.
This consumption of films has increased our audience's knowledge of them, so therefore it's getting harder and harder to impress them. It's one of the reasons why I think 3D is taking off. It's just a new way of looking at a film.
I hate 3D. The whole 3D phenomenon, it's a marketing scheme, isn't it?
Yep. I can safely say as a
Largely.
viewer, I'm totally uninterested in it. I think it's a fad. I think it will burn out.
Avatar is 2 completely different forms of filmmaking
Yeah.
combined. We only used lenses for about 1/3 of the movie. We used virtual lenses for the other 2/3. We never shot in a real jungle. We had to create the jungle. It was all computer modeling. I, the artist, and people who were trained in photography and looking at how light interacted with things.
I think lighting is where bad digital filmmakers really go awry.
Totally agree.
They are seductive, but ultimately they're a little bit hollow. Chips Ahoy or whoever, they came up with these chocolate chip cookies that were like they just came out of the oven and they were soft. And then after a couple of months, you're like, oh no, this is some horrible chemical crap that's giving this bad illusion.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
You're presenting complete unreality and making them feel like it's real.
When was it ever real? There was a kind of a wall there and nothing over there. There was 30 people standing around. It was
Okay, Jim. I see what you're saying.
There's fake rain, your street night exterior New York.
What Keanu is saying is it's tangible.
Yeah. That was a little semantic shit right there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really was. Like, I love you, James Cameron, but chill the F out.
Yeah.
We'll be able to produce anything you want completely realistically. The world is your oyster.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've barely touched on the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
For
that
sure.
was iconic too.
And so that really puts us in the position of, like never before, really having to wed technology and art.
That's what's great about the digital technology is that it sort of doubles in everything about once every 2 years. I love it that all these manufacturers are competing against each other to make great cameras, make them smaller, make them faster, cheaper.
The sensor that we use now in the Alexa camera allowed us to offer a camera that we can proudly promote as a feature film camera.
This is the new Red, which is called an Epic. So this is,
tiny.
believe it or not,
I've held one.
60% more resolution than a Red 1.
It's an expensive camera.
Oh yeah, it really
Didn't
is.
drop it, did you?
I did not. It's my film school has one.
Oh, yeah?
The one I went to, they have it there.
We've taken and digitally projected 4K images on a gigantic screen, and it is absolutely mind-blowing.
The delivery system of cinema is going to change. Kind of more exciting in a way for me, besides the actual cameras.
She's not wrong.
No.
The way we consume things now.
Sure.
We all want the pristine print. We all want the first print off the negative. But we can't have that.
We've installed 10,000 digital projectors into cinemas. The rest of the conversions will happen very quickly.
They produce gorgeous pictures.
It's hard to find a theater that's still projecting on film.
Yeah, it's like itty-bitty theaters now.
Yeah.
Hate to say that they're like art house theaters. It's
I mean,
crazy
really,
to think.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't take film with it.
It's hanging on.
Yeah, there is still there are always going to be filmmakers who like what film can do.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, cinema was the church of the 20th century, which would tell you an enormous amount of how to dress, how to act, how to behave with women, how to be a hero.
I think cinema should be a huge, big expanse. It should be 80 feet wide, and you should envelop the audience in the screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Why people want to watch movies on their computers, I shall never know.
Hi.
Watch movies on their iPhone in the subway all the time.
I don't do that. I don't watch movies on my phone.
I can't do it.
Who am I to say that it's bad? It doesn't have to be bad.
You get asked on a date, nobody's like, let's go to the movies anymore. I don't even feel like that's going on. I feel like I watch something on Netflix streaming on my bed, which might just be like 24-year-old guys' way of getting you to sit on their bed, but...
That's shifting, going to the movies.
Communal space will definitely expand virtually, so we'll start watching movies together in these sort of virtual worlds.
And in some ways, the virtual experience is more rewarding because there's an actual dialogue going on.
You've got to go with it, and if you become unable to deal with it, then that's fine, because that means your time is finished, and it's time for other people to take it on.
It's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
No.
Everyone is interpreting the reality, or what they think is reality, through an image, through a lens. And some kids are really good at it.
It was like I was able to experiment with making movies in this really small, private way, which was what I needed to do.
So that their news stills photographers could shoot news video for their websites. Then people came along and went, ooh, I like the look of that. I'm going to use that. But I hate them being used as movie cameras.
Why?
It's not good enough.
What are you shooting on tonight?
7D. On the 7D for my second year grad film.
Yeah, it's a way for kids to make movies. For
Absolutely,
anybody to make
yeah.
movies, you know what I mean? Like I use the DSLR.
We are given a week in which we have to shoot our film, and the amount of time that we would lose in terms of like changing the film, checking the gate.
Guess what? You can use one of these now too.
Right.
There's a movie in theaters right now that was shot on iPhones.
Takes these art forms out of a rarefied environment and allows more people to make art.
Everybody has a piece of paper and a pencil. But how many great stories have been written on that piece of paper?
It was kind of great when the day came that it was, we'll go do it.
No,
Everybody can make a movie now. Movies everywhere. That's a good thing.
I don't think so, actually. There's less good. There's more bad.
Same thing happened with the VHS, when video, yeah.
There isn't a tastemaker involved.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of agree with that.
I do
it's
agree.
snobby, but I actually agree that there is a...
He's onto something.
There should be a quality
control.
Yeah. Hierarchy.
Transition starts with people offering a new choice, but it finishes with taking the old choice away.
No matter what George Lucas said, that film is dead, and he said that 20 years ago.
I will be one of the last guys shooting film, and Chris Nolan will be one of the last directors shooting film.
And I think in 5 years, film will be the exception.
In 2007, our factory at that time was working at 110% to produce film cameras. New purchases are all digital.
All major manufacturers have ceased development of new film cameras.
We will have to say goodbye to celluloid. It will go away.
Once the young people don't have that experience.
I think we're living through its total transformation. It's going to be endless noise, and no one will be able to tell what's good or bad.
Yeah, that exactly.
An important step in the movie-making process is archival.
Nobody takes archiving seriously. They go, oh, I'll save it on hard drive. And a year later, you load it and it goes, because they stick.
Since the early 1950s, since the advent of commercial television, there have been 80 formats of video. Most of them cannot be played anymore because the machines simply don't exist.
Well, when you box those up to be stored, you have to put a reader in with the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There are no archival formats worth anything in the digital realm that you would put any stock in.
The only way you can make sure that a film is going to be around maybe 60, 70 years from now, interestingly enough, ironically enough, is celluloid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got to put it in a salt mine somewhere,
Yeah,
you know?
seriously. Shout out to the Criterion Collection. They restore everything.
Yeah.
If I have a film in my nitrate vaults, I can pull it out and run it on a projector today, even though it may have been made in 1895.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so
for
awesome.
sure.
It makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
I, as a filmmaker now, have a better chance of something I made being shown properly 50 years from now than I ever have.
People keep saying, we don't know what's going to happen in that 50 years.
And some of those things are true. All of them are better scenarios than film.
Soderbergh really hates film,
doesn't
he?
Doesn't he?
That's almost vitriol.
Yeah, it doesn't, there's problems with it.
right? Yeah. But they're going to solve those problems. I'll guarantee that.
Archaeology always improves.
So you're not worried about it all disappearing?
If things are important to human beings, we figure out ways to preserve them. Always been true.
Okay. Optimistic outlook.
Right.
100, 200 years from now, there won't be a trace of us left. So where are we? We're
I don't know if I'd be that cynical
Sure.
about it.
Art is very primordial. Science is also very primordial. They're very harmonious things that always have to push on one another.
We are at the top of the photochemical process. This is about as far as it's ever going to go. When you're using digital, you're at the very bottom again. Because the more people that use it, the better it gets.
As digital continues to change, the nature of storytelling will also continue to change.
People love great stories. They like to get into a world and have an experience. How they get there, it doesn't really matter.
I'm not sure I ever want to feel that we've arrived technologically.
Try to give people new ways to dream.
If you do something with your heart, it doesn't matter what you're using.
Well said, Michael Ballhaus. I really love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. Seriously, like almost 2 hours of us just geeking out. And
Right.
that's really what we needed today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about what George Lucas was saying. So
Sure.
I am totally fine with digital filmmaking. Like
Yeah, of course.
Some of my favorite movies shot digitally.
I'm not passionately in the stay on film camp at all.
No, and I love the fact that, like, okay, regardless of the outcome of the film, episode 2, I think it was really cool that, like, they were experimenting
right
when this was not popular. And the reason they'd shot episode 2 is because it's a huge movie that everybody's going to see. And so he kind of was like, okay, well, I'm going to use my leverage.
Sure.
And use this digitally so we can kind of push this forward. Now, he did kind of create a monster doing that, and inadvertently might have killed film.
Well, yeah. First off, I get that he was very interested in pushing the technology, but you look at, like, his digitalized re-release of his original 3 movies where he superimposed terrible. And you know, the look of those early Star Wars prequels was terrible. I get that, you know, like, well, I'm really trying to push the envelope. You did, but let's face it, you made some visually poor quality movies in doing so.
And not even just that, but those are legacy sequels. These are films that are established in film history.
Right.
So you swing for the fences, and you don't always hit it. But at the same time, like I said, it leads way for other films to come along and push the envelope.
It also duped the audience a lot, though. It took hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars out of our pockets to watch what he knew was going to be a subpar visual experience. You know what I mean?
You know, honestly, in his own hubris, I don't think he thinks
you don't think he thinks they look bad? Because we know they look bad.
We know they look bad.
Right. We knew they
but
looked bad.
But I think he's so convinced and so gung-ho on this that he's like, nope, this is what it should look like. This is what it's going to look like going forward. And in many ways, it does look that way. Digital's gotten a million times better, obviously.
Of course. And probably largely because of that.
Yeah.
But
no, seriously, yeah. Like, we don't have Avatar if we don't have episode 2.
Absolutely.
What I'm interested in, too, is the fact that, like, everyone's like, well, he is going to take jobs away. And, well, he kind of did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that the guy who shot The Deer Hunter is like, I don't care what George Lucas says. Like,
right, yeah.
Like, we're still going to people that want to shoot on film. And we do. We
do. It's 2025, and there are great filmmakers winning Oscars shooting on film. There are.
Paul Thomas Anderson has a movie coming out in IMAX this year. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's shot entirely on film. Like, but the funny thing is that is the event now.
Sure.
You go to these event films, and when Oppenheimer was an event film, shot on film. It's like, people still show up. Oppenheimer was an R-rated film that's 3 hours long that made $1 billion.
Right.
It's not going anywhere. Film is going to stick around, but it is really kind of crazy that, like, you know, the pendulum has swung a little bit to where it's like everything is digital because it's cheap.
Sure.
The studios are like, okay, well, this costs less money. It's more effective.
Right. Well, I mean, there are a couple of things in there that I like. The concern that some of them brought up is, well, now anyone can shoot movies, so now there's going to be more crap.
That's interesting.
There's
too.
not a tastemaker. I disagree with that because I think that the medium, right, and the production companies, those are the tastemaker. If I want to know, like, where to, you know, what's quality, I'm not going to go on YouTube to say who made their own movie.
Nope.
I'm going to go on Amazon, or I'm going to go on Netflix, or AMC Plus, right? I'm going to go in these places. They say we made this work or we bought this work, so therefore it's going to at least be at a certain level.
Sure.
It's not that Netflix or Amazon don't have bad movies; they absolutely do.
Yeah, of course.
But they don't have, the three guys sitting in their dorm room, making their very bad. Let's do
Boondock Saints.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a mockumentary about getting locked down during COVID.
Sure.
Stuck in our room the whole time.
Sure.
Circle Fest.
Now, in many ways, you wouldn't pay to go see that movie.
Absolutely right.
But it is expression. It is
still art. Yeah,
everyone should have the right to make something.
I agree. I'm just saying.
But no, in terms of it being in theaters and what you're paying for, it's like,
right.
yeah.
Well, a couple of them express the idea of not being able to find quality through the mud.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying, I think you still can simply by HBO Max isn't putting somebody's freaking dorm room film up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Now here's where it gets murky. Is companies like Max or Netflix. A lot of their original films are pretty bad.
Of course, yeah. Bad movies have always been a thing.
Sure,
they were shooting film bad movies.
Of course. It's just that you hop on Netflix right now, go to the original category.
Yeah, you'll see bad movies.
Largely, I feel
but at least you're not waiting through somebody's. Look what I did when I got off work on my cell phone.
Yeah, one's a professionally made film, one is not.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So if the concern that you're not going to be able to find professional work through the noise, I don't think that's realistic.
Sure.
I think that there are obviously arbiters of what's quality and what's not. Mm-hmm. It used to be the movie theaters, and I don't think that's the case anymore.
Sure.
Because the movie theaters are all like, oh crap, we're dying. How many screens can we fill the blockbuster of the week on?
We're in an interesting time right now while we're doing this, because I feel like they're back a little bit right now, and it is different. I feel like this year has been pretty good in terms of audience turnout to theaters.
Sure. I think audiences want to go. Yeah.
This last Jurassic Park movie. What is this? The seventh one?
I think it's number 7.
It had made $300 million in its opening weekend.
Yeah, people will still go to movies.
People want to go to movies.
People do want to go.
That's regardless of the quality of the film. People want to go have a good time, and that gives me hope. It's like,
sure.
If you could turn up for a Jurassic Park movie, like I said, if you could turn up to a 3-hour biopic, that's pretty incredible. You know what I mean?
It is, but I mean, for the most part, these are big directors or big IPs still.
Yeah.
The mid-budget quality movie just isn't showing up.
Sinners, I guess that's a pretty big budget too, but that's an original property that
it is. But that one also is the exception and not the rule. That one surprised everybody.
You're right. Yeah. Word of mouth goes a long way.
Absolutely. It's like, oh my God, somebody made a hugely successful movie. Obviously, a very accomplished director.
I'm trying to think of a movie that kind of came out of nowhere of recent that just swept the box office up. It was from
before that. I don't know.
I don't have to really think about it.
I mean, last year the big movie was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
and everyone saw that coming a mile away. That it was going to be. That was the
success.
Right. Those are the $1 billion movies. Christopher Nolan. When he makes a big movie, Christopher Nolan's big movies are going to make $1 billion.
And I like that he's a guy that hangs on to film too.
Sure.
Same with Tarantino, but we said PTA. All these directors, you might as well put them on the poster as well, because you're not really going to see the movie stars anymore. You're going to see who directed this. A
lot of it, yeah. I mean, you know what you're going to get when you see Christopher Nolan movie. You're not looking really.
In many ways,
for the
he's
actors.
The star,
right? Yeah, exactly. Quentin Tarantino, yeah, he hires movie stars, but at the same time, a lot of it is you're going to go see the next Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Or Greta Gerwig or whatever. I thought Barbie. When you hear the concept of Barbie, I'm like, because we're going to watch that soon on the channel. I've not seen it, but it sounds idiotic. And they're like, well, look who directed it. Mm-hmm. It's like that's got everybody to be like, well, now, wait a second.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's actually Greta Gerwig. It's actually a real auteur made this movie.
It got nominated for 6, 7 Oscars.
Yeah, I mean that's the artist really is the game changer there.
And that's what's incredible about film is you can take a concept that doesn't work and you can really have something with it. You know what I mean? You can really make something great. A movie about a Barbie doll was nominated for 8 Oscars or whatever. Sure. You know what I mean? And then you had this year the Minecraft movie.
Right.
It's like inside of us there's 2 wolves. But I don't know. I find this documentary fascinating. I like the conversation of the back and forth, and I like how Keanu pretty much stayed neutral, and when he pushed Jim a little bit, that answer was frustrating.
Yeah, that irritated me because it was intentionally obtuse.
It was, yeah.
Like, don't act like you don't know what he's saying and turn it into
Jim.
something else.
Come on,
nothing
Cameron.
in how. What does real even mean? Oh, shut up! You know exactly what he meant.
Yeah, and it's like I see what you're saying. Of course, it's not real. Like,
yeah,
of course,
it's not a documentary.
People built these sets,
Right.
but what he's saying is it's there in front of you. I mean, I think
it's
it was
tangible. The camera's catching it.
Yeah, I think Ian McKellen, he was shooting one of the Hobbit movies, and he was just acting by himself in front of a green screen. Had a breakdown.
Yeah,
he said he started bawling because he was like, I'm here alone. Like, right. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, for sure. I hate that kind. I would hate that kind of filmmaking as an actor.
Sure.
It famously Liam Neeson on the first Star Wars, the Phantom Menace movie, hated it because that's what it was. I'm standing in front of a green screen and I'm acting with nobody.
You know what's funny is that had way more sets than the next two movies did. You know, that was shot on film.
Just wait till you get to the second one.
Yeah. Well. It's a fascinating process, and I am curious to see in the next 10 years what it looks like. You know,
the cameras will look better, the projections will look better. There will be plenty of terrible movies still being made,
of course. Plenty of good ones too. You
right.
know, and what is film?
There'll be good directors making good movies on film and good directors making good movies digitally.
One more thing I thought was fascinating, that like to store it, to preserve it, has to be on celluloid.
Yeah,
that's pretty great. I didn't know that.
It is. Yeah, we live not terribly far from a salt mine that has
a lot of stuff down there.
A bunch of stored film prints. Yeah,
and the George Clooney bat suit.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.